Okay. Should be working. Okay. Should be working. Alright, there we go. Indeed. Now I just got to get my headphones to register. Okay. You can hear me? Okay, good. Alright, so where was I? Yes, welcome to the stream. It's been a little while since I've been on camera. I've been really, really busy all month. And I'm going on vacation next week, so this is the only time I got to do anything. I'm still working on that Front Mission Evolved video. At some point, I'll get that out. But in the meantime, I've been meaning to play this game here. This is Frontiers Reach. This is a game by Blind Alien Productions, who happens to be in the chat, so hi there. Alright, let's launch this thing and see where we take this. I've only gotten a little bit pretty far in the current missions here. There we go. Oh, and broke out this baby too, so. Hello! It is the year 2230. Just gonna increase the volume a little bit there. After nearly 200 years of expansion in space, humanity has found itself split into two factions, both foaming at the mouth for war. Good. Wait till you get to the swarm map. Oh, yeah. On one side is the Sol Confederacy of Planets, an old and bureaucratic institution that is known throughout for being corrupt and incompetent. On the other side is the Frontier Republic, a fledgling coalition of independent planetary governments, criminal organizations, and a self-proclaimed king. But way out in the fringes, on a moon called Frontiers Reach, on the eve of what will become known as the Frontier War, a lone ship makes ready to leave for uncharted space in an effort to escape the coming conflict. This is their story. Oh. Nice. Crank up the volume just a little bit more there. I always love this idea of having these kind of huge carrier-style jump ships that, you know, do the main FTL travel, and all these ships just come pouring out. I'm gonna put this here for now. Frontiers Reach. So this is the first of 3 games currently taking place in this universe. Frontiers Reach. Frontiers Reach battles. Very Battletech-y, much good. Yeah, indeed. I mean, Battletech knows how to do some shit good. There's the other one that's a kind of more relaxed carrier-based thing where you're controlling one of the large warships, and you're basically just, you know, taking care of missions, but it's very much like, you know, from a distance kind of thing, so it's a more relaxed kind of experience. And the current game that he's really working on, Frontiers Reach Mercenaries, which is, imagine like Kenshi, but it's a third-person shooter with vehicle combat and all that stuff. It's that kind of like multiple factions and kind of... It's the kind of thing that if you played a lot of Mountain Blade and wanted a proper sci-fi version of that, that's what he's working on. It's looking really fucking cool, so... Alright, so let's see, I've got... This is my current playthrough I'm playing on right now. So let's load up. I think I'll show off the... Ooh, here we go, cutscene. I think I'll show off the first mission at some point. Location Bodenga, System Carter, Confederacy Friendly Industrial. I'll show up the first mission just to show, because the first mission's a bit rough, so I wanted to probably should show that one off just to give people an idea what they're getting into when they start this game up. Stopping already? Oh, okay, I guess I'm blocking the view here. Give me a sec. This is me. Hello. So I guess I can move myself over here for once. There we go. Stopping already? Is something wrong? No, well, not really. The chief engineer wants to tune the drives again before going any further. Seems to think we're not getting the efficiency out of them we should be. And we also picked up a distress beacon in the cluster nearby. I need you to check it out. If it's pirate bait, we want to pop it so others won't get caught by it. Well, that's very nice. It should not take long to tune the Q drives, and I won't even have to leave the ship. We'll keep the ship in range to ensure that you're a place to fall back to in case things get too dicey. Got it. Anything else I should know? This zone is not friendly to the Republic. The entirety of Bodenga is Sol Confederacy loyalists. Keep your distance from the orbital hubs and stay in the asteroid field. Alright. I wanted to make a 90s era combat game inspired by Wing Commander and Mech Warriors. So that's what I made. Well, considering that you can then go to the galley and have actual conversations with your pals and the people, like you're the cook here. I mean, you succeeded. That definitely gives me that kind of impression. Plus the fact that all the different menus areas are actually diegetic in the sense that they look like parts of the ship. That's really cool. Hey, I got a favor to ask. A friend of mine was supposed to grab some supplies for us from an agricultural world that supplies many other worlds with spices and produce. Okay, so what's the gig? Well, the gentleman was supposed to supply us the goods before we left Frontier's Reach, but he never arrived, and I have not been able to contact him otherwise. He should have passed through here. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, I'll find him, or the cargo. Hopefully both. Stay safe out there, pilot. Oh, hi, Coco. Hello, doggy. Coco, you want to be on camera? No? Okay. That mission has a bug that I just fixed. Oh, well, good. Well, I'm glad. Alright, so let's see. So we got... Update is going out... update is going out later. Okay. It's not going to crash the game, is it? Hopefully not. So let's see. We got CIC where we were previously. We got the helm. So we're in Bodenga. Biosphere Desert. Gravity's 1.1 standard. Barely breathable silicate heavy atmosphere. Fun times. Orbital period of 480.3 standard days. Metal abundant desert world used for mass extraction mining. Bodenga is a planet that is loyal to the Soul Confederacy through and through. This is almost exclusively because the planet has one of the tightest relationships with large corporations that purchase the minerals that the mining colonies on Bodenga excavate. Makes sense. No, you can still play the mission, but waypoint positions are off. Alright, okay, well, no problem then. Alright, I love the fact that you got all these descriptions for every planet and everything. And also, go to the hangar for all the weapons and all the vehicles. Like you got, the high energy ejector, which is our guns here. So this is the one. This is the kind of middle ground. Phase auto bolt's the fastest one, and the Torcan. I think I'll equip the Torcan this time around. I think I should be able to still get some pretty good rate of fire since I got a whole bunch of guns on this one. The Hoplite here, gunfighter. This is one of my standards. Let's see, I got the Wakizashi AGPMs. Got the multi-lock guided missiles here. And the Lazarov Dragonfire laser here for the heavy one. Designed for use in mining rigs. Fun times. This is actually really good for strafing runs on stuff because it's a continuous laser. It lasts for a little while, so you can just like hit a couple of things before you move on. You can also compare and contrast with different vehicles. Hidden stat: more guns equals better heat distribution, which means faster firing rate. More gun positions means you can shoot higher calibers faster. Exactly. And speaking of hidden stats, also outfit modules for these things. So engines. Fuel injectors. Fuel in this game is basically like a timer on your missions. If you run out of fuel, obviously you can't continue. Radar. Yeah, let's up the radar capabilities here. Add external fuel reservoir, already did. Armor package. Increases your mass, but also makes you harder to kill. Let's see. Increases the strength of quantum flux field generator and adds more emitters to the outside, allowing for further increased speed when boosting and overall maneuverability. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, let's max these things out. I want to show everything off. And EM field generator so we can take out missiles with the electromagnetic pulse. Nice. Okay, that should be good. So let's back and save loadout. Light 2. Gotta redo the paint job. Load paint. There we go. Very cool. Alright. Alright, we can go back to the gala if we want. Hollow table. Okay, so I can choose main mission or go on Hoban's Run here. Let's see. Mineral rich world, home to numerous mineral extraction. I already read that. 3 hub stations in orbit on the planet serve as the core to its commerce sector in conjunction with Star City on the surface. Hoban's asked me to search this area for a friend of his who was supposed to deliver supplies to us, but in orbit it was the last location any contact with him was made. Get out there and find him. Lots of mercenary activity around Bodenga. This planet's loyalist soul, and the mercenaries here will open fire on anyone not immediately identifying themselves as loyalists. Expect VO-33 and MK Mark 6 fighters. Alright, well, we're pretty loaded for bear, so let's do this. Sol Confederacy uses carriers to move the majority of its fighters and forces around the frontier. Take out the carriers and it'll stop new fighters from launching into battle space. Nice. Alright, here we go.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by.
Preparing for launch.
Launching in 3,
2.
1. Engage.
Here we go.
Hoban's contact is in this zone. I'm picking up what sounds like background remnants of a radio distress signal bouncing around the local asteroid field. Let's check it out.
Alright. Just need to make one slight setting. Remove so I can actually use the mouse on stuff. There we go. Not that I don't want to use the flight stick, it's just that I've gotten used to using the mouse. So, alright, so now let's just overdrive.
Thermal warning.
And drift. Yeah, going around a little over 1,000 meters per second. I always love Starfighter games where you can actually just turn off your engines and just drift wherever you want to go. Although I should not go with this fast right into an asteroid field. You just like this, and then just rotate around.
Nothing here. But the signal is getting stronger and a bit clearer. Let's try over here, and I'll see if I can get us a triangulation point.
Alright. Kick in afterburners a little bit. Uh-oh. I think I'm seeing, yeah, I'm seeing something red on radar there on the edge. Yeah, definitely I'm getting way more firepower. Now let's start.
I've detected a group of mercenaries in the asteroid field. They are patrolling an area not far from here where the signal appears to be coming from. Marker on your HUD.
Alright. Let's just turn off throttle. The cool thing about, of course, in space, you can just stop on a dime, just float there and get a good idea of your surroundings. Alright. Dante's pit stop. So the Heliosiren over there is our main ship that we're traveling on. Okay, watch our ass. Do not run into anything too solid. Oh. Okay. There's that pit stop. Uh-oh. You got company. Alright, EMP active. Where are they?
Incoming.
Gotcha. Alright, he's down. Dear enemy, your internet bill is due. Okay, don't get too close to the planet, otherwise gravity field's gonna start screwing with me. Gotcha. And that's a hit. Alright. Mercenaries taken out. Re-engaging with main target. So yeah, these are my main guided missiles. I got 40 of them in weapon bay. Switch over to the. I used up a lot of those
Looks
on
like
these
I
guys.
think that's all of them. Let's get closer to the wreck and find out what happened.
These are my multi-launch ones, and here's the laser. I got 12 shots with that, but does a shit ton of damage. You get a direct hit on any one of those fires, they get taken out quick. The AIM-9 missile puts off some wild noise when it has a lock. I tried to emulate that with the modern modem noise. Yeah. I mean, it definitely tells you when you got a lock, that's for sure. Alright, so let's see. Where's the wreck? Okay, throttle at 6. Right down throttle to half. Alright, now let's take a look. Where... Trading stations. Oop. Just careful there. This is where the waypoints are going to be off. I actually have the update mission file. I can toss it to you via Discord. Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I probably won't have time to install it. Well, okay, well, I guess I'll have to restart the mission then. Okay, let's not get too close to those pit stops. They'll just attract more attention. I'm pretty sure they got gun turrets. So now I just gotta figure out where this guy is. Now, if anybody sees anything that looks like a busted up spaceship, let me know. So I'm going to check the Discord here. Luckily, this game is very alt-tab friendly. Okay. Okay, download that. Bring this up. Okay, browse that. Plugins. Yeah, custom built scripting language for missions, so it's just a text file that has kilobytes in size. That is really impressive. One thing I've been impressed by, I've seen a couple of things on your YouTube channel that you should only need to restart the mission and can leave the game running. Yeah, grant the money, that's great. Yeah. So it's okay. Streaming assets, game data, English mission data. Okay, let's get that installed. All right, bear with me, folks. really wish Steam would let me update that data separately because it takes 6 hours to deploy the whole game. Yikes, yeah. Alright, app data. DGGG. See if I can find it. I'm looking in the wrong spot. Okay, assets, streaming assets. Okay, streaming assets, got it here. Game data. Mission data. Okay, found it. Alright. So just drop that in here. Place the file. Done. Alright, there we go. Okay, so abort mission. Yeah, interstellar carriers there. Okay, I didn't lose anything there. Just make sure. Make sure I'm looking good. There we go. Hoplite 2. Alright. Back to the holotable. Yeah, I'm literally fixing the game up streaming. I mean, the fact that you managed to put the update into a little JSON file like that is pretty impressive. I mean, considering I don't think there's that many people working on this game aside from you. Alright, so let's do this. Try it again. Opens run.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by.
Alright. Here we go. 3,
Launching in 3,
2,
2,
1.
Engage.
There we go.
Hoban's contact is in this zone. I'm picking up what sounds like background remnants of a radio distress signal bouncing around the local asteroid field. Let's check it out.
Mostly solo dev, yeah. Which just makes this and all the other projects you're doing all the more impressive, frankly. Alright, let's get the full experience here. Alright, so kick it into overdrive in 3, 2, 1. Alright. Currently at several hundred times my normal throttle speed. And it's strange. When Astro Unified Toolset and Code Library pays dividends. Yeah, I'll bet. Let's careful here. Turn on the lights if we want.
Nothing here. But the signal is getting stronger and a bit clearer. Let's try over here, and I'll see if I can get us a triangulation point.
Cool. Alright. Can I just say, though, I'm just gonna bring the throttle down. Damn, this game looks good, right? I mean, holy crap, look at all this. And this is just like an early space mission.
Collision warning.
Oh, shit! Okay. Should have been paying more attention where I was going. Oops. Okay, note to self. Pay attention to where you're going in the asteroid field. Coming in plant rendering too. Yeah, I saw that on your Twitter. Looking forward to seeing that, especially since it can apply to all the games you're working on, so that's pretty cool. Okay, note to self. Do not run into asteroids. We don't have that much salvage built up.
I've detected a group of mercenaries in the asteroid field. They are patrolling an area not far from here where the signal appears to be coming from. Marker on your HUD.
Alright, let's go take these guys out again. Switching over to multi-missile. Let's Macross the hell out of these guys. Okay, that's over there. Let's ignore them. Engaging. Oh. Alright, that's one down. Down with the guns. God, I love the EMP. Shit. Okay. I think that was all of them. Nope. Okay, there's the missile going off in the distance. Where do you think you're going, huh? Alright, he's down. Come on, where do you think you're going? There we go. I think that was all of them. There we go. Okay. I think, yeah, I don't see anybody else on the radar. I'm almost curious.
Looks like I think that's all of them. Let's get closer to the wreck and find out what happened.
Okay, there it was. I wasn't even in the asteroids. I am kind of curious to see what would happen if I got too close to that planet. Would I actually burn up and crash on the surface, or just explode on my way down? Alright. So yeah, just hitting spacebar lets you activate drift mode, so you just cut your engines and start floating in whatever direction. It also works on planet surface, lets you do some really crazy maneuvers, like, you know, total insane shit. Which is really good on low gravity planets. On high gravity planets, I'm probably going to regret using it, but... Oh, hello. Whoa, okay, that's... What am I looking at here?
pilot. Get back into the fight.
Okay, so that's the edge of the map, I guess. Okay, I guess I was going the wrong way there. Where am I? Okay, there he is.
Leaving the operations area isn't going to cut it pilot. Frequency and access a protocol for emergency power. Looking over the flight log.
Okay, good. He managed to lock onto it.
Raiders. Hoban's deliveryman was taken down by raiders. Not surprised, to be honest. Life out here was hard before the war. Wait a moment.
Alright, waiting a moment. What do we got here?
Hoban stashed the cargo before finally being taken out by the raiders. I've got the location. Marker on your HUD.
Okay. Positioning is off. Yeah, look, the, red grid blocking my axis kind of tipped me off to that, but at least it worked, right? Okay, Hoban's cargo's over here. So let's get that. With any luck, we're not going to run into any problems from any of the raiders that shot this guy.
Leaving the operations area isn't going to cut it, pilot. Get back into the fight.
Damn it. Okay, let's see. Can I get close enough to this thing to grab it before I get turned around?
Leaving the operations area isn't going to cut it, pilot. Get back into the fight.
I'm trying, but you keep stopping me. Ah, it's right there.
Leaving the operations area isn't going to cut it, pilot. Get back into the fight.
Okay, so yeah, this mission, I think you still got one or two things to fix on this one. Let's see. Looks like the override didn't take. Okay. Well. We'll just go with the main mission instead. Alright. Salvage content. Did my salvage count go down? Damn it. Yeah, exactly. I don't have to play it. But it is nice to have side missions that you can just like if I hadn't gone to the galley to talk to this guy, I wouldn't have actually known about the side missions. So that's always kind of cool. I like that kind of stuff. Alright, so holotable. Main mission. Now this is what I'm talking about. Helping people in need. Well, maybe. We gotta get out there and find out what's actually going on. So, yeah. Distress beacon is a few kilometers from our current position. Is obscured by the asteroid field. Lauren will run scans as you get closer. Be ready for just about anything. Belts and clusters are pretty popular with marauders and pirates. Yeah, I bet. While we're here, we need to keep to the asteroid cluster. Get too close to the station, I'll pick you up. If that happens, we'll have to abort. Okay, so stealth mission. Past that, I don't have much else I can give you. Lauren will keep you up to speed as the mission unfolds. Good luck, pilot. Radar and LiDAR indicate a lot of civilian traffic exists outside of the asteroid field, but that there is indication of small station inside the asteroid field. Keep an eye out for raiders and the usual VO-33 fighters favored by the mercenary forces. Alright. Okay, so hopefully we'll be able to blow up some guys and complete the mission so I get some salvage.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by.
Here we go.
Launching in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Engage.
Marking the investigation point on your HUD. Be careful out there, pilot.
Yeah, especially considering we can't get too close to the stations or we'll have to abort, so let's not do that. Okay, let's see. Reach mission status, reach waypoint. Yeah, don't look this way. Pay no attention to the unidentified fighter aerospace asset coming in on your AO. You're just hoping these guys have really shitty sensors. Okay, so, yep. We got
I'm picking
raiders.
up weapons fire from the target location. Looks like someone is in trouble. Let's get in there and help them out.
Already way ahead of you.
Go away, you pirate scum! Oh, come on, Lorelei, don't fail me now!
Vessel registration 037483, team. This is the Helio Siren calling. We've launched a fighter to assist. Please identify yourself and watch your fire.
Helio Siren? Who in the... Oh, hell. This is John Marston. I spot your pilot on my radar.
Incoming.
Tell him not to stretch Lorelei while they're at it.
Incoming.
Lorelei?
Shit.
That must be what he calls it.
Incoming.
Well, you heard him. Clear those skies. And
Incoming.
don't let anything happen to Lorelei.
Incoming.
Let's take out a couple more of these guys. Where do you think you're going, huh?
Ooh, I gotta thank you. We're getting pretty desperate there for a second. I
Oof,
can't do
okay.
repairs while I'm being attacked and have to man the turret.
Have you no gun crew?
Had gun crew.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm tracking another wave coming in. If you can hold them off while I work on this, we can get over to Dante's and chat all you want.
Dante's? Oh, never mind. I'm going to patch into your ship and provide turret access to our personnel.
Oh, now you're cooking with oil.
Alright, there's this guy.
Here they come, pilot.
Ready for him. Okay. Waiting for target. Target locked. And missiles away. Ah, shit. Route.
Incoming. Incoming.
I will get to the commentary when I am done getting shot at. Alright, here we are. Nice hit. Where do you think you're going, huh? And we got one last one. Alright, this is for you.
I
There we
got
go.
her running. Whew, she purrs like a kitten. Come on, random friendly pilot from out of nowhere. Let's get over to Dante's and I'll buy us around.
Stay with him, pilot. I'm tracking more marauders in the area.
Will do.
Sending coordinates to you, Helio Siren.
Received. Marking the location on your HUD, pilot.
Scoring from the crew, be sure to stay close. If enemy fires destroy, you fail the mission. Yeah, no shit. Alright. I do like the target reticle as a star. Not quite sure where to put the art and design here, but it is interesting. Yeah. Put it as in style, kind of Soviet looking, but can't tell fully. It's got one thing I know from looking at the Mr. Blind Alien Productions here's X feed is that there's definitely a love for old school 70s sci-fi art. So if you look at like the book covers from those kinds of that period, yeah, you definitely see a lot of stuff that kind of looks, you know, reminiscent of this. It does have a bit of that kind of... The closest thing I've seen to this in modern times, there's a bit of Kao Yokoyama in this, but I'm not sure if it's direct inspiration, but it definitely has that kind of feel where things are... Get a lot of inspiration from Cold War era art design. Yeah, 50s, 70s, that's what I'm talking about there. So yeah, there is probably something like you say, Soviet kind of sci-fi inspired kind of things too as well. Doesn't seem to be falling to Yeknau Cassette Futurism or any of the big ones. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I like this one. It's got a very unique kind of feel to it. Okay, let's... Where'd he go? There it is. Uh-oh. Oh! Oh, damn it. I zoomed right into him. God. Idiot. Ah, crap. Whoa, shit. That's a hell of a bunch of guys. And these guys have a lot of missiles. Just keep the EMP field on. Oh man, it's a lot of missiles. Okay, we got additional bogeys. I'm glad I got a shit ton of missiles. Where do you think you're going, huh? Alright, I think I'm taking him out. One more to go. Oop. That's a crit missile. Whew. Alright, let's get back on this guy's tail. Ooh, boy. That could have gotten pretty intense pretty quick. Luckily, I think I'm significantly better armed than those guys are. Definitely was a good idea to equip the EMP, because that thing is really an upgrade over the chaff or flares. Right. Whew. Okay, here we go. Now, hopefully that's going to be a good enough amount of salvage. And yeah, do not run into this guy. Like a frickin' moron like last time. I think what really differentiates this from what Zack Attack's talking about with cassette futurism and like that is that you look at these ships. Let me just turn off the. Don't know if you can see it here, but they're kind of there's a lack of like extra greebling on these. It's very smooth, still moving into position. Ah, okay. So I'm just gonna wait then. I think we're at the right spot then. But these ships have like very smooth lines to them. There's not like excessive greebling and stuff like that you see a lot of. Well, when we say cassette futurism, a lot of the time we're talking about stuff that's inspired by like Alien or things of that kind. This one, it doesn't have quite... Uh-oh. Never mind. We're not done yet. Where do you think you're going, you son of a bitch? There we go.
Finally! For a moment there, I was almost sure I was a goner. Let me get docked at the station here, and I'll come aboard and permit it.
Permission granted. We'll keep the airlock primed for you.
Oof. Alright. Not a fan of greeble maxing. Yeah. There's a very, like, smooth feeling to the ships, you
Hangar
know?
bay is open, pilot. Come on back, and let's get that bird patched up.
Yep, coming in. Whew. And it does add to a certain, like, you know, as you say, 50s to 70s kind of look. You look at ship designs for sci-fi of that era, and it's very much feels that kind of smooth. They're like fighter jets in space. They're rocket ships, not space shuttles in many ways, which is kind of funny when you think about when the actual shuttle program was. All right, slow down a bit. Let's get ourselves situated.
Landing angle too wide. Wave off.
And locked in and landing. Okay, that went well. We legit almost have fighter jets in space, yeah. I mean, the future ain't set, so we might still have them. Like look at these ones right there. Very smooth like Battletech ones used to be. Lots of greebling later art. Yeah, something that you'll find when looking at Battletech's art then to now is that, okay, the quality overall may have increased, but ultimately there is a lot more greebling to things because it makes it look more, machine-like, I guess. I also feel like you got some texture like all those bolts into the cockpit. Yeah, there's a lot of that too. It's like, it feels very much like there's still machines being put together, industrial kind of style, but it's got a bit of a Porsche kind of feel to it, as opposed to just a Jeep. Everyone, please welcome aboard John Marston. Howdy. Gotta say, y'all really saved my bacon back there. Glad we could help. Would I be correct in assuming you're in need of further assistance? Death by Detail is the philosophy for sci-fi design. Yeah. Glad we could help. Would I be correct? Okay, yeah, I already read that. Actually, I was wondering if I could repay the favor. Oh, I was glad to hear that. Okay, so what do you propose? Well, I reckon that anyone snooping around this asteroid belt like myself is probably not too keen on getting found by the local station. Which tells me you're probably Republic Navy, one of the privateer fleets, maybe? Sorry to disappoint, but we're not exactly friends of the cause. But you're definitely not friends of the Sol Confederacy. Definitely not. So what do you say to a little operation to steal some goods from a town on Bodenga? I'm listening. Alright, so the boys and I want to do a suicide drop onto a town called Pitsen. We've already got people in place to load cargo. Suicide drop, that sounds fun. You want to do a suicide drop on a 1.25 G planet in that old heap? Hey, now, that's my Lorelei you're talking about there. Besides, it was the EMP those marauders used on her that put her in such a bad state. Dante's got his people fixing her up. She'll be ready to go. When you say the boys, I assume there is more than one ship. 3 in all. Lorelei, the Marquis, and the Queensland Hopper. Long haulers, all of us. Got all the names. What are the supplies for? They're for the Republic. I and the other 2 captains were hired specifically to acquire these resources. Why a suicide drop, though? Why not just hit the orbital hub? We're picking up antimatter. Oh, no. Oh, that's how I come out of it. You really are suicidal. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure that if that stuff gets jostled the wrong way, it's going to detonate. We've got it all figured out. I've heard that before. Yeah, I mean, doesn't this guy look trustworthy? Come on. Look, we was planning on doing this without fire support and had the whole thing figured out then. You provide us cover with our friend here, it'll go off without a hitch, and we'll cut you in. Chief Engineer Hadley would appreciate it. We've had trouble getting our hands on it. Saul Confederacy keeps that stuff under lock, key, and guard. Yeah, no shit. So how'd you line this up? Let's just say we've had some friends down there skimming some off the top of the local reactor tanks and tucking it away. Skimming antimatter. Just let that sink in for a sec. It's your call, Captain. Your lead will follow. Let's do it. I'll talk to Major Ramirez and let him know he needs to link up with you. Zero, make sure you're ready. Will do. Got it. Yeah, it's like possibly one of the most dangerous substances known to man. And we're just like skimming off a little bit off the top, just, lining our pockets with stuff that reacts with explosive detonation when it touches anything. Fun times. Alright, we got some more people around. Before the war, people were always dying, making mistakes, not checking equipment when it should be. Now people are just dying, and by the droves. Why is this whole Confederacy being so brutal on the border worlds? It's no secret that the frontier is a place of lawlessness. What isn't talked about is just how bad the border worlds are. Back on Frontier's Reach, it wasn't uncommon to hear a story or two from the local long-haul pilots about the crime. I guess you fly cargo long enough and far enough, you tend to see it all. Sure seems that way. So what do the border worlds have to we don't? As I overheard the conversation, it was something to do with population density and all them people living on top of each other. Yeah, that'll do it. Not sure I trust their wisdom. Can't say I do either, but it's the only explanation I got that makes any kind of sense. So if what you say is true, then invading the border worlds has as much to do with breaking up their gangs and crime families than anything. Now, that's a theory I bet money on. Thanks for the chat, Hope, and gotta fly. See you around. Yeah, that does make a good amount of sense. If you have like super mega cities and stuff like that, you're probably going to run into some problems with crime, obviously, because, if you got a problem with someone, you can't just move away. You're stuck with them, so. Howdy, you must be Zero. Thanks again for saving my hide back there. No problem. I take it you were running cargo to Dante's before those raiders got a hold of you. Yes and no. Yes, I was running cargo, but I was also running over there to meet some friends of mine about a job. What's this next job you want us to help with? That's this next job you want to help us with. Correct. That's this next job you want us to help with, correct? Yes and no again. Okay, I smell side quest. We are indeed going to run the job with the gentleman I met with today, but we have already had the meeting about this job 2 weeks ago. This week's meeting was about a job that will be going down in another week or two. How many times do you three have meetings? 3 times a month, and at least one of those meetings is usually in person. So I take it you just share information about contracts or whatever opportunities may come up. Sort of. We actually belong to a union, so it's more like casual check-in among co-workers who are also friends who sometimes take jobs that tiptoe on the path of legality. I like the dialogue in this. I feel this is a rabbit hole I could get lost in. Oh, it goes down. Gotcha. So this job we're about to do, anything I should know? Let your CAG know, but I'll tell you personally, rumor has it that there's an ace pilot who was recently assigned to the mercenary garrison in Star City. Not sure skill level or even if it's true, but watch yourself out there. Thanks for the heads up, I appreciate that. Who else we got? Major Grant Ramirez. Listen up, I don't know who these space truckers are, but watch yourself out there. You think they might try to pull a fast one on us? That's my Malongo's brother. Don't know enough about them to say, but that's kind of the problem. These 3 are unknowns to us. So you want to just observe and report right now? Exactly. Will do. Alright, keep an eye on him. And this guy here in the back. Helmsman. Back down to a plan. I feel like we just got off of one. Don't know if I can handle this up and down like this. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Ugh, and the captain said this next planet is much higher in gravity than Frontier's Reach. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one either. I just want to go home, but home is just as dangerous. At least I know these dangers. Now there's a war here. I just feel so trapped. Yeah, I hear ya. Ooh, and look at all these people over here. Back with helm, nothing new here. Actually, let's go to the... Okay, Hopen's Run is still there at least. Okay, so let's see. Do I want to make any changes? Could. Another cool thing is that you pretty much have access to all the fighters. Oh, Jesus, yikes. Voice actors on the bounty board. Nice. You have access to all the different starfighters. It's just that, as you can see, your loadout cost increases. Like, the one that costs 0 to equip is the Wild Boar. That's your basic little rinky-dink fighter here. But, of course, if you want to go the really powerful stuff, it costs you a hell of a lot more. And, well, if you run out, you basically have to restart the mission because, well, you can't get resupplied. I need to get more salvage. So, let's go back to the Hoplite 2 for loadout. Could go with the... Well, Shepherd might be useful since this is on a planned ground attack. It's got better visibility down there. And it only increases that a little bit. How many guns does this thing have? Comparison. Let's see. Roll, ground attack, salvage cost, cargo capacity, fuel, mass, armor, radar range. Let's compare with the Hoplite here. Slightly lighter. Slightly more armor, slightly better radar, same internal ammo mass. Originally conceived as a piece of farm equipment. So, can't tell how many guns this thing has on it. Well, let's give it a shot. So. Let's give this one. There's a tunnel run in the next mission. You don't have to run the tunnel, though. You can fly along the top of the ridge if it's too difficult. Okay, yeah. Tunnel runs are always a bitch. Let's face facts in these kinds of games. So let's save this one. So this one's the Shepherd. Not the most original of names, but it helps you keep track of which ones I'm using. And I think for... Well, let's take a look at the mission. Loyalists. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to make a big deal out of the theft anymore. Seems like this is going to be our modus operandi around here. Okay, here's the plan. The town of Pittston is the main mining hub of Bodenga. Numerous deep shaft mines are located along the central tunnel that wraps through a plateau which Pittston is built into. You want to travel as close to the ground as possible as you cover across the plateau. When you get to out in the open, you'll first want to take out the gun towers from the landing pads. Okay. Then move on to the SAM towers at the top of the plateau. Once those are clear, Lorelei, the Marquis, and Queensland Hopper will begin their suicide drops. Love that. In fact, literally calling it a suicide drop. They can only come down one at a time, so let you keep the skies clear until the operation is complete. Okay. Foreign details in opposition. So yeah, we got those mercenary forces and possibly an ace to deal with. Okay, so should be okay with my current loadout. Let's give it a shot. There we go. Yeah, everybody always needs air cover.